Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about the back end of Smart Online Order, how it works and how it uses your Clover inventory to allow customers to order online. And let's go ahead and get started. So here's the back end of Smart Online Order and here's the front end. So some of you may have a web version and some of you may have a branded app. So if you only have a web version, then they will order from the website. If you have a branded app, they can order from the branded app and also from the website. So this inventory here that you see here is pulled from the Clover inventory. So as you guys may know, Clover has an app market where if you search for online orders, you get a huge selection of online orders, and we are one of those online ordering apps. And what we do is we connect the Clover inventory using technology called WordPress, and this is the plugin that customers or merchants install to accept online orders on their website. And this can be found by going to WordPress. And you can see the development of it over the years. It's been out for about 7 years now. So a lot of updates and features over the years. And you can also take a look at the how to install it, and then look at the reviews and other information about the plugin. So once the plugin is set up, which in your case it may already be set up, you will get something like this. So all these other options you see here, you may not want to mess with that unless you have a web developer, because this basically changes the appearance of your online order page. So the theme is already set. Everything is good to go on that end. What you want to look for is something called Clover Orders right here, because this is where you want to take a look at your back end of your order online page. So as you can see here, we have order types, right? You can have 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple order types. Again, this is a test account, so you may see a lot more than normal. And then we have categories and items. So categories is basically the category from the inventory app on here. The reason why we offer the ability to show categories on the back end is because sometimes merchants may want to hide a category. Let's say they don't want to sell, they don't want to offer lunch, or they don't want to sell iced mocha, right? They can hide it just like that. So that's what we offer that as well. And also we offer the ability to reorder the categories, because sometimes merchants may want to rearrange the categories in a different order. Maybe they want to highlight a specific menu at the very top. So we allow the ability for categories to be reordered. When it comes to franchisee locations, sometimes they want a consistent menu for all their locations. So they may want a certain look, certain items to be at a certain positioning. So we also allow them to coordinate that amongst themselves. And in modifier groups, everybody knows what that is. You choose the bowl size, you choose the bun options, you choose the combo size, many different modifiers. Again, this information comes from the Clover inventory app, which we showcase here. So you can rearrange it. Let's say you want the bun options first and the bowl size second. You can rearrange it that way. Of course, you have to make it enabled here. And then at any time you need help or have questions, we always have a live chat right here, or you can give us a call if you have questions on that aspect of it or anything here. And then we have checkout settings. The reason why we offer a checkout setting is because some businesses will allow their customers pay at location, but most people don't prefer that, so we allow them to turn this off. So when you get access or when you make an order online page with us, you may see this as enabled, and you may want to turn it off. But most cases, yours probably already turned off. And we have pay with credit card, which of course is needed because they have to have that payment source. Payment upon delivery. In other words, if you're doing your own delivery and you want to collect payment upon delivery, you can do that. But these days, most merchants use a third-party delivery company, so like DoorDash or Grubhub. So they may not even need this. And this can be obviously disabled from the back end. And then we have store settings. So you can basically, if there's an emergency and you want to close your online orders, you can do that. But again, I recommend to do it from the business hours here because it's going to be much easier for you to remember to turn it back on. So as you guys know, you go to account and setup, and then you go to business information, right? And your online order follows this pattern right here, which is your business hours. So if you have to close for today, and let's say today is Friday, you have to close, you just put closed and you'll close for that day. But it's very important that when it comes to Saturday or Sunday, you have to come back here and put open for a Friday, because the way Clover business hours works, it's on a weekly basis, not on a monthly or yearly basis. So you have to do it every week. Again, emergencies do come up and you can close it from the back end. So let's go ahead, go to the next option here. We have custom hours. If you have a lunch that's only available for certain hours, those are available as well. And then we have the store interface, which you can change the look and style of how the menu looks. So let me just show you what that looks like too. This is the most popular one. Most merchants use this one right here. So we have different ones, but this is the most popular one. And then of course, items, images, descriptions. You can add images to each item, which most of you may already have. It's very important to add images because it allows the customers to see what they're ordering. You can click on this icon here and add an image to it. Or if you have one specific item that you're out of stock, you can enable out of stock from here. But I recommend doing it from the Clover inventory side. That way you can just do it from there. You can do it from here as well, but what happens is if you do it here, you may have forgotten that you did it from here. So if it's to remain consistent, I recommend doing it from the Clover side, which obviously is very straightforward. You go to inventory and then you put the available to off, right? And then it'll be out of stock. And then let's go ahead and go down the list. I'll try to keep the video not too long because I have plenty of other videos for very specific features. So if you go to YouTube and type in a Smart Online Order or Zaytech, there's about 400 videos here. So you can watch specific things if you want to learn how to do it. You can go through all these videos. In this video, I'm just going to give you an overall picture of how the technology connects and works together so you get a better idea. And then of course we have the orders, which you can see also on here and also on the Clover inventory side. So you press on orders and then you can see all the orders that came in. And it tells you it came from the iOS, web, Android, however the orders came through. And keep in mind that this same information is also shown on your Clover device. So if you go to the Smart Online Order app on the Clover device, you will also see iOS, Android, and all that as well. So you can see where it's coming from on there too. This is just if you want to see it back here, you can. And then we have coupons. Coupons is ability for you to create coupons, and then they have to manually type in the code to get the discount. And then we have the loyalty dashboard, which allows you to see the points and all that. But this is going to be also rolled out to the individual Clover devices, just like this is. So you can actually do it from the Clover device, which makes it a lot easier. And then of course we have the reports, which tells you the orders that came in. It's very similar to how Clover does their reporting, but again, it's not intended for you to print out reports or anything like that. It's just for you to see at a glance what happened, right? So when an order is not paid, it just means the card got declined. It didn't go through, right? So they usually will try again. They will try with a different card and it'll go through. Since this is a test account, you may not see many orders here, but feel free to check out the orders section if you want, and you can see it where it was through. The way you can tell an order went through, it'll say paid or it'll print out. Declined orders will not print out. So that's how you can tell the difference. So again, this is a test account. So it'll say not paid online. The reason why we have it not paid online is because they may want to come inside the store and pay for it. Sometimes somebody may try online and their card is declined for whatever reason, and they may want to pay with cash inside the store, or they may want to try with a different card, and you can see that as well. And then the same information that you see here is also visible here too under orders, right here, orders. The only difference you'll notice here on the orders app in Clover is when an order gets declined, it doesn't show it here. It just shows the one that went through. But over here you'll notice that it'll show a decline. It's just an optional thing we did just for you to kind of see if they came inside the store afterwards. But it's there if you need that information. And then also, let me actually do last 7 days. Yeah, like that, so you can see your orders. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this stuff. But if you're not, I have another video on here on YouTube. You can search for how to understand the back end of the dashboard of Clover. So you can see how these orders are coming through. You can click on details, receipt, and you can see all that stuff. So we do a lot of testing here. So you may see a bunch of different type of orders like kiosk and all that, because we're rolling out a kiosk feature pretty soon, which is pretty exciting. So it turns the Clover into a kiosk. If you want to learn more about that, I should have a video on that coming pretty soon. So let's go ahead and go back to the back end here of the dashboard. Actually, let's go back to the front end. So again, these are all categories on this side, and this is the menu items on this side. They can add it to the cart where people can order from. Let me see if I can go back here. Okay. So, and then we have, let me see, let me go back to settings because there's some additional settings here. This one you may not need if you have a third-party delivery company. You will not need delivery areas and fees. There's video tutorials if you need more helpful articles. We have documentation as well. But then again, we always have the live chat if you get stuck somewhere. We also recommend, if you need help, we offer onboarding as well. If you want to learn how to understand the back end, how to make changes. But again, check if you have a certain policy in place on what changes you can make, especially if you're trying to stay consistent across the board with multiple locations. Sometimes when it comes to multiple locations, they may want a specific order type. They may want a specific menu setup. They want specific items to always show. So make sure to check with if you have multi-locations on how that works out. But in general, you are at this back end. You can come and take a look if you wish to make changes if you need to. Like let's say you are out of you no longer offer flavors for one of the things. You can quickly hide it like that modifier group. So what does that mean, flavors? Basically, it allows them to choose hazelnut, vanilla, white chocolate. Now they can't choose any of it. But if you want them to choose a flavor but not vanilla, then you just hide the vanilla. And this happens, when you run out of a flavor. Same thing when you run out of an item. Let's say I go back to items, images, descriptions, and then I run out of peanut butter cookie, right? And I just say hide from website. You can do it from here, or you can do it from the Clover inventory app. So whatever you prefer, you can do it from either or. So you can hide it as well. Let's take a look at what else is there. So again, you can add a description to it. If you have an item that you're noticing your customers always asking questions about, you can actually come back here and write a description to it. You can say, this chocolate chip cookie is made fresh daily. You can give a description. Like if they ask you, like, is the chocolate chip cookies made fresh daily? You can actually write that out, just like that. If that's a common question you're getting, or you can just write this to help it sell more. Because let's say you are making it every morning fresh, a fresh batch, and people love to hear that. You can actually highlight that as well, or you can say it's gluten-free, or whatever information you want to share, gluten-free as well, something like that. So again, you can go in here and search for the item if you wish to. Let's see if I have an item called vanilla. Let's just type in cookie. Okay, so I have a bunch of cookies here. So I have M&M cookies. Okay, let's say M&M cookies comes with rainbow colored texture. Well, just you get the idea. You can write a description to it. And then of course, if you click on this part here, you get more ability. You can do more customization to it. It tells you what the price is, fix, and all that. One thing to keep in mind is that the backend of the Smart Online Order app, even though it reflects your Clover inventory, has an import sync inventory feature, right? So let's say you change your inventory completely by uploading a new Excel spreadsheet. It's important that you want to do an import inventory if that does happen, right? If it's the same as before and you just made a lot of changes to it, like tax rates and other stuff, just press update taxes. Sometimes merchants change their taxes once a year or every other year, depending on where you're located. If there's changes to it and you change on your Clover, right? Let's say I go here on my taxes here, I go to account and setup, and then I go to tax and fees, and then I change my tax rate, and then I see it says test because this is a test account, and I change it 10%. let's say I change to 8%. Okay. So when I do change that, it's very important that I also go here because Clover does not auto sync the taxes. So you just have to press update taxes. Now my tax rate's 8%. Um, let's say you have a lot of different taxes. Let's say you have like five different, you made, let's say you did this by accident. You made test 2 tax, and then you put it at 5%. And then you made like 3 more tax rates, and you're like, whoops, I made a mistake. I should only have 1 tax rate. You deleted it. Now you have 1 tax rate. So if you do that, all you have to do is come back here and just press um, tax rates. Just this will remove the additional one. That way the customer doesn't get charged 2 tax rates like you had here before. It takes a few seconds, and it will clean it out. So only 1 tax rate shows up. And keep in mind that the bigger the inventory you have, the longer this will take. If you have a huge inventory, it'll take longer. So let's say in mine, I have 255 items. It's not too bad. So I can actually do a clean inventory. Let's say one day I completely change my inventory and I have all different items. Then you want to go do a clean, right? And you can actually tell this very easily. One way to tell is if people start ordering stuff, you don't have it at the business no more, or it shows as partial payment, that means you need to clean your inventory. If you do see that, you just come here and clean your inventory. And depending on how many items you have, it'll take that amount of time. So just check, check with whoever runs your inventory to make sure that everything matches up. And one way to do it is quickly go to Inventory app on your Clover. Here, Inventory, and then go to your Order Online page and just look at the prices. Do they match up? If it matches up, you're good. If this is 265 and your Clover is showing 255, that means you may have uploaded a new Excel spreadsheet or made some changes. And if you do see that, very simple. You just go back here and just press Update All Items, and then it'll sync it. Right, there you go. Now that price is going to be updated, just like that. So just keep that in mind. But right now, as you can see, auto sync updates items, categories, and modifier in real time. It does not auto sync order types and taxes. If you made changes to tax and order types, you must do a manual sync below. But keep in mind that this technology uses the internet. So if you made a price change in your Clover, and then your internet wasn't working that great, you may have to do a manual sync. So just double check when you make major changes to your inventory pricing or small changes. You want to come back here and do a sync so the prices do match up correctly. So you want to make sure that's also taken care of. Let's see what else I can show you here. Order types. And you can always do the announcements and follow up here. Whenever we have new updates, we mention it here so you can see what the improvements are coming around to. But yeah, make sure you be vigilant about chargebacks. Speaking of chargebacks, let's talk about that too, because this is something that's pretty important. Okay, so what is chargebacks? Chargebacks is something that where a customer manually when a customer disputes a transaction. So it happens here and there. In restaurants, it's not as much, but in retail and electronics, especially, I think it's more prevalent over there. But if it does happen to you, you can come back here and try to prevent that from happening again, or set rules up to limit that. But again, I would check with somebody in charge there to see if chargeback is becoming prevalent to make these changes. So let's say you want to always verify the postal code before the credit card is accepted by Clover. Then you come here and check this box right here. So keep in mind, the more strict you make it, the more declines you may get, because some people may not always enter all the information in, and you may get a decline. So just do what you feel comfortable with. If it's working correctly for now and you're getting orders and you're not experiencing a lot of issues, then leave it the way it is. But if you're getting chargebacks, then you want to come here and take a look at this stuff. I have made an entire video on chargebacks. It's about a 20-minute video, I believe. If you are having that issue, come here and watch the video on chargebacks. Oh, right here. It's I made it 4 months ago. How to use Clover fraud tools with chargebacks. I try to make new videos all the time because I noticed Clover always updates their backend here. So just recently I noticed now they have a block list here, which is interesting. So you can actually block billing addresses, or you can block countries and email addresses too. So it's pretty interesting they added this as well. So you can actually go very deep into it if you have that problem. If you have that problem, if not, you don't have to worry about it. And then you can also do transaction limits. So you can say if certain number of orders done or certain number of orders done from a specific computer to block it. You can do that as well. So you have that option here to do that. Because anything done online is more riskier than done inside the store, because you get to see the person, they get to insert their card. It's more secure, and typically the credit card companies will. It's very hard for them to do a chargeback, especially when they insert their card. But it's still possible, but it's less likely. But online, typically the banks will take the customer's side because they may say my card got stolen or whatever other reason that may happen. So just be careful with that, so you don't get chargebacks. So just follow that. The reason why I want to mention this because we don't process the credit card transactions. It's done through your Clover merchant account. This technology we use is called the iFrame, which is basically Clover's checkout, where you enter the credit card numbers and it goes through there. It goes through your Clover and it processes the transaction. So keep an eye on the fraud tools from time to time and make adjustments as necessary. But if you notice if you notice you're getting more customers calling you and saying I got my card declined too many times, then you know that you made it too strict. So kind of be doing in a way where it's not too strict, but at the same time you're not getting too many declines. And at the same time, it's not too easy where you're getting chargebacks. So a good balance of the two will be my recommendation. Let's take a look at anything else here. So that's pretty much it. If you want to get more into detail, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, or you can go back and watch the other videos on the other features, syncing, how to change this, how to update that, how to add service fee, weekly webinars. Let's see, best practice for keeping the prices synced up with your Clover inventory. New features. Whenever there's a new feature, I usually make a video for it. If printing issues, you can learn about that as well. How to sell digital gift cards. Again, this is a Clover product, but I typically will also make videos when I see some benefits from other apps too. So I will show that as well. How to schedule a meeting with us, so you can actually come here and schedule a meeting with us. How to reorder modifier groups. So again, there's tons of videos here, but just start slow if you want help. But if you want to just do an onboarding meeting, you can as well. You can schedule a meeting with us, and we can show you how everything works and connects together with the of course with the WordPress and the Clover, and then and how it all comes through your prints to your Clover device. All right, that's it for this video. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, reach out to us or book a meeting. Thank you and have a great day.